In this video, I want to look at all the African countries. I seriously mean all of them. I want to look at their major natural resources or their main exports. So let's start from Algeria. So I'm starting from Algeria because I want to do alphabetical order. So Algeria is the largest country in Africa when we're talking about land mass. So obviously in terms of population is Nigeria followed by Ethiopia. So Algeria is just there, and you can see that is a massive country, and the main natural resources of Algeria, or their main export, is petroleum, crude oil. So they do have crude oil, natural gas. Another product they do export a lot is nitrogenous fertilizer. I want to move next to Angola. So Angola is one of the African countries that is unique in terms of Lusophone African country. There are not a lot of them. Lusophone are countries that were colonized by Portugal, and they still speak Portuguese as their official language. So Angola is a massive country as well, and their main natural resources or export as well is petroleum. So crude oil, they do have crude oil, and they do have diamond as well, and a lot of other natural resources. So moving on to Benin Republic. Benin Republic should not be mistaken for the Benin Empire in Nigeria, but Benin is neighboring country to Nigeria, and they do have raw cotton. They do plant a lot of cotton, and it's one of their main exports. And they have other ones like gold as well. They do have gold. They have shea butter, so some of the agricultural products, and cashew nut. So I want to move on to Botswana. Botswana is a country in the south of Africa. So, and this is Botswana here, is just neighboring to South Africa as a country. And they do have diamond. They are known for diamond and gold. I'm sure they do have a lot of other natural resources, but those are the main export. And let's just move on quickly to Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is a country that's just at the top of Ghana, sharing border with Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, and Benin Republic. So Burkina Faso is a country that is very rich in gold as well, zinc, ore, and cotton. They do have cotton. In fact, this sort of like area, the northern Ghana, Togo, Benin, around that area, so they are really known for a lot of cotton. So from Burkina Faso, moving on to Burundi. Burundi is in the east of Africa. Burundi is just here. So it's a country, it's one of those landlocked country. Actually, I've done a video about landlocked country, and Burundi is just here, and they are is a country that is very rich as well in terms of gold. I think a lot of African countries do have gold. So, but anyway, so Burundi do have coffee and tea as well. I think, these are agricultural products, by the way, but these are some of the agricultural products that is very common in East Africa. East African countries, they are really very known for coffee and tea as one of their main exports. And Burundi is sharing border with Democratic Republic of Congo, Tanzania, Rwanda. So these are the countries they are sharing border with. I move on to Cameroon. Cameroon is a neighbor of Nigeria, so it's just there with Nigeria. And Cameroon is one of those countries that has two sides in terms of like there's this French speaking area and the English speaking area, both francophone and anglophone. So Cameroon is a country that is rich as well in crude oil. They do have some crude oil as well in Cameroon, and also they do have cocoa. They are really known for cocoa as well, just like a lot of West African country around this sort of area are really very known for cocoa. I've done a video about cocoa as well. You might want to watch that. And so they are also really known for wood as well. Timber is another product that Cameroon do have in abundance in terms of like some of their main export. So let me move on to Cape Verde. Cape Verde is a country, is one of the West African country that is an island. It's a very kind of a small country, West African country. It's part of the economic community of West African state. And because it's an island, you can almost guess that they will be doing a lot of fishing as well. So fishing, processed fish is one of their their main export, and I'm sure they must have a lot of other natural resources, but the major one, which is very obvious as an island country, is fish. I'm moving on to Central African Republic. When you hear Central African Republic or Central, you can guarantee that it's going to be somewhere in the center, and it's just there. So this country, Central African Republic, is one of the landlocked countries in Africa. By the way, landlocked is a country, there are countries that don't really have access to the sea. Well, they do have access to the sea, but it's going to be through their neighbor. So they don't have direct sea. When you're talking about Central African Republic, one of their main export is cotton. Cotton is one of those product that is very common in Africa as well. So they have cotton, they have coffee, they also have timber. These are they do have diamond as well. I think diamond is really very common in a lot of African countries as well. So that is their main export in terms of Central African Republic. The next country I want to talk about is Chad. Chad is just neighbor to Central African Republic, and Chad is one of those countries that is landlocked as well. And what are their main export? Their main export in Chad is crude oil. They do have crude oil as well in Chad, and they are one of the oil producing country. They do have gold. They do have cattle, cotton. They do have a lot of cattle. They plant cotton as well. These are the main export or main natural resources of Chad. The next country I want to move on to is Comoros. Comoros is an island country in Africa, so it's one of those island countries, just very small there, and the main export is cloves. Clove is kind of like a flower bud, and it's something related to aroma, really, in terms of it's used in perfume, making perfumes and deodorant and all of that. So that is what they are known for. Moving on to Democratic Republic of Congo, which is another massive country in Africa, and actually this is a country that is one of the richest country in Africa in terms of resources, alongside the likes of South Africa as well. And this is a country that's so massive. Unfortunately, there has been a lot of things that haven't gone right there in terms of their natural resources, that they've been exploited a lot. They have a lot of natural resources, some of them cobalt, they have copper, you can name a long list of natural resources that they do have in this country. I move on to East Africa. I'm looking at Djibouti. Djibouti is just there, alongside Ethiopia, Eritrea, and and a neighbor to Somalia as well. So Djibouti is East African country that is really also known for what East Africa is known for, some of the agricultural products in terms of tea and coffee, and they do have palm oil as well. And something as well they do have is chloride. So chloride is another natural resource, or some of their main export. I'm moving up north now to Egypt. Egypt, as we know, is one of the major player in Africa, not just because of the history, but in terms of natural resources as well. They do have crude oil as well, and North African country, they are also known for nitrogenous fertilizer, and we know gold as well. Even since the ancient time, gold has been known to be numerous in Egypt. Moving away from Egypt down here, and then I am here in Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea, is one of those oil producing countries in Africa. There are a lot of oil producing countries, really. It's just that the one that have that are kind of like members of OPEC, that have them a lot in abundance. Those are the ones that a lot of people know, but there are other countries as well that are they have crude oil, kind of like a offshore, crude oil, and they do have other natural resources as well, or let's say one of their main exports, which is timber, in terms of like Equatorial Guinea. So I'm moving back to the East Africa and Eritrea. So Eritrea is a country that is known for a lot of livestock, and also they do have other natural resources, gold as well, zinc oil. They do have a lot of all these mineral resources. Let's go now to South Africa, to Eswatini. Eswatini used to be called Swaziland until they changed their name to Eswatini, and it's one of the small African country in the south. And Eswatini is known for sugar, so they do have they do export sugar and also scented mixture. Going back to the East Africa, and I'm going to Ethiopia. Ethiopia is a country that is really full of history. Actually, Ethiopia is very unique in that it's a country that has never been colonized. It was occupied at the time, but they were not at any time successfully colonized by any European country. A lot of attempts, but they didn't completely succeed to colonize. Ethiopia is the reason why they are unique. They have a lot of things that they have they do on their own, like their calendar and their I think their alphabet as well, so full of history. And Ethiopia is one of the East African countries that is really known for their agricultural products, in terms of teas, in terms of coffees, cut flowers, and leather products. So they are really known for all of those. Let's quickly move on to Gabon. Gabon also has, crude oil. A lot of these countries around here, they kind of like have, offshore, crude oil, and they do have manganese as well in abundance. And so that's Gabon for you here. So to the west of Africa now is this very small country, Gambia. Gambia is a country that is known for welcoming a lot of international tourists, like European. They do go, a lot of them go to Gambia to enjoy some holiday there. But they are also known for fish. They do have fish as well, being a country that is just by the coast. So they do export fish and a lot of agricultural products like coconut, cashew nut, and Brazil nut. These are also known as one of the main exports of Gambia.